Hi everyone, welcome to a day of confusion. People are really wondering today whether it is a bear day, bull day, whatever could be the trend. It is actually very stock specific and sector specific. In fact, a lot of my friends were saying they had a bad day, but all my portfolios are green because I'm loaded with consumption. And one consumption stock which rose after a long time, Avenue Supermarts. And I've talked about this stock along with some of the other beaten down stocks many times. This stock was up 15% today. Last quarter, we were all just talking about Zepto, Swiggy, that they are destroying DMart. People in this country love cheap stuff. They want shops which give discounts. And DMart, I have mentioned many times, it is now online also. It delivers to home. Look at this sector. This is consumption, non-edible. Not a single bad stock today. DMart was exceptionally good. Look at HUL, 1.5% only, but this is a 5.7 lakh crore company. Look at Titan. All these are beaten down stocks. DMart, of course, the volumes were 12x of normal. We had a bad quarter, that too in terms of quarterly results. Analysts are overzealous with statistics and mathematics. This is not how Kirana shops work. And if you recall this dashboard from about 2 weeks back, we just have 4 reds left. Now, if you look at the distance 250 to 2-week high-low, many stocks are not far off. Titan 13%, Trent 14%, Pidilite 16%, Marico 9%, Page Industries, Gillette and Kalan Jewellers in any case are at high all the time. But this much distance DMart covered today itself. Look at the volumes, rockets, hundreds. One sector which was up a lot in last 2 weeks, but that cooled down significantly, mostly profit booking, was pharma. Red across the board. One of these stocks where I expect a lot of fireworks this quarter is Asian Paints. Buy, sell, hold. I'll talk about it today in the Nugget section. And today this topic is very close to me, so I will start with a story which I've created specifically for Asian Paints using ChatGPT. This is normal, healthy profit booking, not short selling in my opinion. Now we are going to see short selling also soon, but that will be reserved for stocks whose results are not good. Today's hero was ONGC, that was up 5%, big boy. Reliance was at number 2. Oil stocks are right now going through the roof. They have corrected a lot, they have bled a lot. Tata Motors is at number 3. This stock will not do well in terms of results in my opinion. That's not the India business, that's the international business. That is always something that pulls down Tata Motors results. If that result somehow is managed well, then Tata Motors will soar beyond 1000. The other beaten down stocks of consumption, HUL, Titan, Nestle, they were all at the top. What was at the bottom, for some strange reason ahead of the split of stocks or the demerger on Monday, ITC, probably a bit of profit booking, Wipro, ICICI Bank, TCS and HDFC Bank. Infosys also was right here. Very clearly, the bears ruled the Nifty today. Next 50 also, reds returned. It was not like there was a meltdown in the market. DMart right at the top, taking next 50 up. This is the new philosophy. Here I also have impact now. Earlier it was change. Next we had REC, Chola Finance, LIC India and Vedanta. See this graph? Literally these many sectors did not participate today. There was participation from heavyweights, oil and gas, automobile and electrical utilities. Right at the bottom, banking and IT. Today, we had only 12 sectors that were up. Look at the beautiful pattern of beverages, and this is not Varun Beverages alone. This is also alcohol stocks that are doing phenomenally well. Q3 is best for alcohol stocks across the country. In terms of charts, while Nifty was not doing that well, the volumes were fantastic today. And HCL along with M&M, they hit fresh highs today. All the big boys in Bank Nifty, they were down. However, here also volumes were pretty good. In the private sector banks, most cuts came in HDFC and ICICI Bank. Beyond them, actually, the private banks were looking fine. South Indian Bank was up most 4%. That's a portfolio stock for me. Besides SBI, all public sector banks were up. And volumes were fantastic. A lot of rockets in this particular space. However, the distance to 52-week high continues to be high, which means if there is good policy action for public sector banks in the budget, there is a huge rally coming up in this space. But they need a trigger. Investing came under huge selling pressure today. This is one sector which has gone up a lot. So market will not take mediocre or okay results at all. These stocks can beaten down mercilessly if results are okayish. Now note one thing, volumes are low in FNO. Just check if your favorite stocks or the ones you are holding, they will be impacted in this quarter because of the FNO volumes going down in December. Few examples could of course be exchanges like BSC and some of the trading platforms like ICICI Securities. I would expect this not to impact the other players because most trading happens through low cost providers like Zerodha, Grow, and so on, not through the AMCs. IT was in a meltdown mode on high volumes. People are sitting on huge profits and a bit of profit booking is actually required. You might lose lot of money in this sector if it goes through a meltdown, especially after the US president changes on 20th of January. Mazgaon Dock has not benefited at all from the stock split as of now. We are approaching budget and Mazgaon Dock is approaching lower levels of RSI. The cuts in oil marketing companies were minuscule, but the gains in the producers for the second consecutive day were fantastic. In fact, now Reliance has been up for 4 straight days. Same with Oil India, and now ONGC is also picking up steam. Edible consumption was beautiful today. ITC was down, but that's okay. This stock is gonna be volatile. Monday would be an interesting day because there'll be price discovery for the business which is left over for ITC in the initial part of the day. Nestle was up today also, and I've talked about Nestle in the past. This stock should go up significantly more. Varun Beverages inched closer to its 52-week high now, 4% away only. You will start seeing lesser reds in this particular sector now. The charts lost the pretty question today. Nifty energy was up a bit and next 50 was up a bit. FIIs are back to selling a lot, 4,200 crores. DIAs either haven't got enough money this time, this particular month in SIPs yet, or they are up to something. Now, this is fantastic stuff, and that is why I like companies which have a lot of cash generated and on the balance sheet. HUL is in talks to acquire the skincare brand Minimalist. It's a good brand, 3,000 crores. HUL is famous for buying good brands in turbulent times to grow inorganically, and this will be the case with lot of companies which have cash on the balance sheet. Dabur also is saying that rural consumption continues to outspace urban in December quarter. Consumption is coming back. And I would say that some of these stocks were beaten down so much because of mostly analyst commentary. It was almost as if they wanted the market and select stocks to go down. Look at this number. India Inc. enters 2025 with cash reserves highest ever, 7.6 lakh crores. Graph is courtesy Money Control. What are they going to do with this cash? Either give it to promoters and shareholders as dividend or invest it in the business. That capital work in progress is not coming. This is where government needs to work with the companies. Hey guys, what is up? Why are you not investing in the economy? A lot can happen in the budget to make these companies spend this money in growth, capex, capital work in progress. These have to be the mantras this year. Silver is inching up very fast. It is now at 90,000 and I might soon buy silver and a lot of it. I want to hide money now. Gold is again sulking 77,000. USD a little less than 86. This is losing very fast. Brent is now above 75. It is at 76. That is why perhaps the oil companies are doing well. Now what you will see is as soon as this is at 80, we will start beating down Indian Oil Corporation, BPCL and HPCL. They were not rewarded when crude was at 72, but they will be beaten down. My trades for the day, nothing bought, nothing sold. I was actually out for most of the day. I am trying to reduce my hyperactivity in the markets considerably these days. Let's see, these days you could see a large sell numbers from my side and I'll prefer to buy gold and silver maybe for the foreseeable future. Asian Paints, let me start with a story. In the mid 90s, there was a little boy who started a company with his father and the company was doing pretty well. They created a product which was niche and they could manage to sell the product at about 70 paisa at a cost which was around 20 paisa. In the industry, the price was 3 rupees per piece. So huge margins for them and a huge opportunity for the buyers from that particular company. So their business was doing well, they thrived, they grew. One fine day, the manufacturer got an update from their other vendor that we are now going to sell you a packet which will have all the components required for a business. Either take the entire packet or you buy it from someone else. We'll not give you 4 of these components and you take one from someone else. So these guys came back running to the other partner. You guys are good. You're giving good price as well. Your product is fine. Can you give us all of these? These guys were a startup. They didn't have enough money to invest in the business. That required about 70-80 lakh rupees. In the 90s, that was big money and they didn't have anything to mortgage and get it from the banks also. So as a result, the business was cannibalized. The order went back to this company. They again sold at 3 rupees only. This guy who got killed mercilessly. This business shut down. This is not a story from ChatGPT. This is my story from 1995. This is my first startup. Why I'm telling you this story in Asian Paints context? Asian Paints has a huge variety of paints and stuff required to complete the paint job. For example, if you look at weatherproofing, there are a lot of solutions here. What if Asian Paints tell its dealers that either you take everything from me, including the paint which requires a machine from Asian Paints and the colors, or you take it from Birla Opus. Asian Paints is not known for this arm twisting. In fact, they are known for taking care of their dealers. However, it is totally possible for them take it all or leave it all proposition to their dealers, and dealers will not want to take the risk with a startup. Birla Opus is a startup. This is a slightly dated graph, but it is a beautiful graph. I saw it on tradebrains.in in a case study. Asian Paints, this is dated 2022, had 42% market share. Berger had 12%, Nerolac 7%, Axon Nobel 5%. Where is Birla Opus going to fit here? For this, you have to first think like a chess player. What chess players do is if they see their opponent move a piece, they first understand their motive. What is coming next and next and next, up to next 5 moves, what are the permutations? This goes on very fast in their minds, and this is the mindset you need to have in today's stock market perhaps. Why is industry buzz with the fact that Birla Opus is right now mercilessly killing Asian Paints? Is it a paid marketing effort from Birla Opus? When we talk about numbers, look at the Asian Paints press release from last quarter. Weak consumer sentiments coupled with persistent rains throughout the quarter and floods in some parts of the country impacted consumption. I've been saying this for a while now, that consumption is down because of rains and floods. Some of this consumption could be back in Q3. This is not Birla Opus. This is what Berger's guy says. They say that Birla Opus is not even a competition for us. Their output still is half of our size despite its substantial capacity. You can throw money to create capacity, but that capacity cannot create demand. That cannot create sales. You can manufacture paint required by the entire world in India. Will the entire world buy from you? That is the question that Birla Opus has to answer. Berger Paints has not been able to take Asian Paint share for decades. They have been around for a long time. The factors that impacted Q2 were rains, consumer confidence, reduced government spending that reflects in the entire economy, and high inflation which led to high product prices. It takes a while for market to settle down with high product prices. At times, demand does get postponed. If you look at the numbers, December number is always higher than September. See here, December 86, 84. 91, 84. What will December number be here? Especially when September number is low because of rains. That is supposed to be higher. On top of that, some of the missing September will also go into December. This is not rocket science. Now, if you look here, there's one number I want you to note. The OPM is varying 15%. Normal is 18-19%. Sometimes it is higher also 23%. 19-19, it has fallen here. This is the impact of inflation. What is a major component of paint industry? Crude. This is the crude graph. Crude prices that went up here to 120. What did that do? 15% OPM. Killed the OPM. Here, this particular segment, if you see, the price was fluctuating a lot. It kind of peaked here. Low OPM. Low OPM. 72 is the lowest price in the last 4-5 years. This will definitely impact the OPM positively for the paint industry, including Asian Paints. Now, if you look at the reserves, they are probably the highest ever. What could they do with the reserves? Acquisitions. M&A is going to be the theme of the next quarter and maybe the next 2-3 quarters. Companies which are not able to grow organically, they will grow inorganically. There is no rocket science about it. Note the capital work in progress. Here it is 100, 250, 1400, 1000, 2698 to 272. Their sales number are 8000 crores for a quarter. Capital work in progress is a quarter of that. Another aspect, plant, property and equipment, 5345 crores. This is a depreciating asset. Last year, same time, this was 4000 crores. After depreciation, the impact of capital work in progress, last quarter, this rose to 5345 crores from 4024 crores, up by more than 25%. What will this additional capacity lead to in future? I don't think Asian Paints management is as worried as the small investor in the country. In fact, they are going international and they are expanding the business like anything. They are getting into a lot more stuff like sanitary fittings, fans. They are acquiring companies, they are building new businesses, they are expanding their capacity. This company will grow only, they could have another 1 or 2 quiet quarters, that's okay. But one fine day you will see an explosion just like you saw in DMart today. I am continuing to hold Asian Paints for now. One fine day if you see me selling Asian Paints, that will probably be to buy again, maybe in a month or 2 months, especially if I am expecting a downturn or a crash in the market. My crash definition is about a 5 to 10% fall in Nifty, which leads to a fall of about 20% in companies like Asian Paints typically. Hope this analysis was useful. I can't predict the stock prices, but I will continue to support Asian Paints for now and wait for their quarterly results patiently. Thanks for watching and I will see you next week. Have a fantastic weekend.